Real thoughts, real trades, real journey. A video journal documenting the lessons learned on my journey to becoming a disciplined trader. Welcome to Trading the Journey. I'm Neil, and today I want to share a trading day that taught me one important lesson. Let's see what the market had to teach me. So, I took two trades yesterday. One winner, one loser. The winner, if you want to call it that, it wasn't much of a winner. I followed the rules to managing the trade, and it never did reach the profit target. In terms of P&L, it was a winner. But overall, I would classify this as a loser because it didn't reach the profit target. It was an A-plus setup. Both trades were, in my view, an A-plus setup. So the first trade I took pretty much at the open. It was a power bar trade. Strong candle close, small wick at the top, very little wick at the bottom. There was a lot of buying pressure at the open. And it cleared the pre-market high by a long shot. It cleared, so I had to take the trade. And it did go up. It touched it touched the 1-to-1 profit target, and so I moved my stop up just above my entry, so it became a free trade. And it covered commissions. And then a little bit more, it covered commissions. And it came back and it stopped me out. It continued up to about 1 point. It turned around. It did a hairpin turn, the way Steven Adams classifies it, a hairpin turn. You can see right there on the chart. It turned around, went up about another 0.5, and then it turned over. Now, could I have gotten in on the reversal? Yeah. And looking at it, I probably should have, but I didn't because it wasn't what I was looking for at the time. And it may be something that I'm going to work on later, reversals. I just need to collect data on reversals. But there probably could have been a reversal that I could have taken. Because as you can see, it really turned over. It completely dumped. But you can see why I got in on this trade. This was the pre-market, and it cleared everything to the left. It just cleared everything to the left. The pre-market high and the pre-market low were both above the previous day high and low. So my bias for the day was bullish. And as you can see, it turned out to be mostly a bullish day. But taking everything into context and the story, the grind up, I can see why it would be a bullish day. And it didn't break that structure the entire day until, of course, this point where now it's on a grind, kind of a grind down. But the structure was grinding up from the overnight pre-market, and that was it. So in terms of P&L, that was a winner. But overall, the trade really wasn't a winner. It was just a free trade. So I want to talk about the second trade that I took, which also was definitely an A-plus trade. I got excited about this because I thought it was going to turn over one more time. It was a same scenario, just the other way. And you may think, well, wait a minute, it didn't clear anything. No, it did clear all the way. And you can see I drew my target indicators where my stop and profit targets were. It cleared this power bar cleared the last, we're talking That was 12 after 12:30. We're talking almost the past hour. It cleared support from the last hour. Clearly an indicator that that this was going to turn over. And it turns out that it didn't, and that's okay. I would take this setup every time. I mean, there were multiple indications that told me to take the trade. One, convert the 9 and 20 SMA, simple moving averages were converging. They crossed, and it crossed down. That was one. Two, this strong bar that cleared the last hour of support. That was another. So there's two right there. And another thing was that, look where this was. Here's the high a day, and there was a bear candle that top that it never made it to the high a day, and it cleared the high of this bull candle right here. So, I mean, there were just multiple things going on that that stood out to me. So I had to take that trade. Obviously, it didn't work out because the trade climbed higher. If I had stayed in and seen this, I could have gotten in on this power bar and rode it up, made the money back. But I had closed it down. It was, at this point, until I'm confident in managing these trades and confident in taking multiple trades a day, 1 to 2 trades, maybe 3 at the most, if I'm comfortable. But usually 1 to 2 trades at the most is what I'm taking. And so I had this one loss, and I shut it down for the day, because, yeah, that's part of the game. I just felt like shutting it down for the day after that one. But you can see why I took both of those trades. They were just really strong, in my opinion, A+ setups, and that's going to refine over time. So I'm not sad about the losses at all. I'm not emotional about the losses at all. I didn't get emotional. I was actually really excited to take this second trade as well. Usually when I have a trade like that first trade that I showed you, usually I shut it down after that. What's the point? But I kept the chart open while I was doing my day job, and when I saw this happening, I was waiting for the market to tell me to get in. I was waiting for that opening, and there it was. So I had to take it. It was too good it was too good not to take, in my opinion. It was just there, staring at me in the face. If I didn't take it, I wouldn't have known whether it was a loser or not. Same with this one. And I think at this point, as far as the open goes, if there's a clear power bar play at the open and it fits the bill like this one, even this had a consolidation in pre-market. Once it got the pre-market high, turned over a little bit and consolidated, it looked like it was going to go down here. I didn't take this one at the open, which clearly I could have, and it would have turned out to be a loser. But there was something about this that told me I didn't take that one. This one I did. But this also could have been taken as well. But there was also wicks at both ends too. So this was a little longer than what I liked. Wicks at both ends. If this was a strong close, okay, definitely could have taken it, but I didn't take that one. I stayed out, but when this bar happened, when it turned over, I took it. A lot of it, I think, had to do with this consolidation that happened since a little bit after 8:45. I think a lot of it had to do with that. It wasn't as clear cut even though it did clear a lot of support to the left going back to a little over an hour. It was a valid setup that I didn't take. I think I have to be fearless of the open. You know, if there's a clear setup at the open, you know, I have to take into context what the market, market was telling me, what the market is telling me, and take the trade. Because the more data I have, the more I can better judge A+ setups. This was a lot stronger. There was very little wick down here. Actually, I think I got in more right here. Let me adjust this just a little bit. Yeah. I don't know. There was just something about this that wasn't right. This had a smaller wick than this one in the direction that I took the trade. On a power bar play, or I'm sorry, if this was a fence trade, which I originally was looking at, if I had taken this as a fence trade, then this would have played out like this. And I probably should have waited for a fence. Maybe. I don't know. I took this trade, and that was it. Power bar. So, you never know what's going to happen. You know, you never know what's going to happen. I'd hate to play the what if game as far as this goes, but what if I had waited and then took the trade? Because as far as the power bar goes, let me actually draw, I'm sorry, as far as the fences goes, let me actually draw this. Let me see here. No, that's not what I wanted. Give me this. And this is something I was thinking about on the fence trade here. How close to the fence do I have to be in order to take or not take the trade, right? Normally I'd like it really close or even penetrating, just but again, information's what I need. How close do I need to have it in order to take the trade? And this probably would have been one that I wouldn't have taken and missed out. I mean, it just depends. But the power bar is what I took at the open, and then the power bar later in the day is what both were A+ setups. Thank you for joining me for today's lesson. The market has voted. Today's lesson is written. I hope something from today's trade helps you on your own journey towards becoming a more disciplined trader. If today's trade reminded you of something you've experienced yourself, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed today's journal entry, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button on the video and subscribe to follow the journey. Until next time, real thoughts, real trades, real journey.